Hello dears. You remember we talked about creating a small network using switch. Let's create a switch as well, and we were able to connect the devices or the computers with the switch. Then we gave them IP addresses. So let's give 92.168.1.5 to the first computer, then to the second computer I'm going to give 1.6, and then 1.7. Here we go. Now these computers are able to communicate with each other, which means I am able to send a packet from one PC to the other one, and you'll see that it successfully reaches there and then gets back. Now we have this network. The IP range for this one is 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.255, which means that any IP address starting from 192.168.1, starting with 1 and until the 255, we are able to give these IP addresses. So I can give 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 until 1.255 in this network. So we have 255 computers under that switch. We can give 255 computers under one switch. Okay, cool. Now we have another network. This network is different from this. So we have another network or another school. The IP address here is 172.16.1.1 to 16.1.255. Perfect. Now we have two different IP addresses. Two different networks have two different IP addresses, and the computers here should have the same IP address as this one. So 172.16.1. Let's say 5, and then this one is 6, and this one is 7. There we go. So we have two different IP ranges, two different networks. That's the fill color, perfect. This one is a network, and let's give another color, and this one is another network. Perfect. So we have this network, this is a school, and this one is another school. They have different computers, different IP addresses. So if I just connect these computers or these switches together, these switches, they are not able to communicate with each other because different IP ranges, they cannot see each other. So I want to send a packet from here to here, and if I play it, you see that it acts very crazy and it's just random packets. So which means that no, these computers are not able to see each other, and it doesn't work. So in this situation, when we have two different IP addresses, we have only one solution, which is router. So a router is composed of what does it do? It simply routes packets from different IP ranges to the other side. So we want to connect the switches, here we go, to the router first of all. But since we have a lot of computers under the switch, we are going to use gigabit Ethernet. So click the gigabit Ethernet and click the router. We are going to use 000 for the left one and 001 for the right one. Cool. So still we are seeing these red triangles, which means still these networks are not connected. So I have to click the router and give the left side, give an IP address from this side, and give the right side an IP address from this side. So I'm going to click on it. Well, click on the config and you will see that we have 000 gigabit Ethernet 001. We have to give IP addresses to these two ports. So I'm going to click the first one and give 192.168.1.1, the first IP address from the left side, and I'm going to make the port status turned on. So we are changing two things for the left side network. We click the gigabit Ethernet and we change the port status on, and then the IP configuration we give an IP address, and that IP address we always give either the first IP address or the last IP address, so that we will not be confused, because we're gonna use that IP address later. Cool. For the left side, it seems something is going on, and for the right side of the router we have to give an IP address, which is this one. I'll click on it and config gigabit 00, so 172.16.1.1. here we go, and then make sure you turn it on and you will see that this becomes green as well. So right now these computers are connected to the switch is connected to that one, and here we go. But we still have an issue. If I want to send a packet from here to here and I play it, you see that it still acts crazy, which means that we are still missing something. These computers are not seeing the router, and these computers do not see the router. So we have to let these computers see the IP address of the left side and let these computers see the IP address of the right side. So we are going to click the computer, go to the IP configuration and change the default gateway. So 192.168.1.1. That is the IP address of the left side of the router. And we are going to write it in all the computers. Here we go. And this one. That one is done. So these computers right now are able to see the router, and we have to change the IP configuration here so that these computers will be able to see the IP address of the router as well. So I'm going to copy the IP and put it here and make it 1. That's why we want to remember that 1.1, so that we will put it in all the other computers. And perfect. Now these networks are perfectly joined and we can send a packet from here to here. The first time it may not work. Most of the time it just gives an error. That is okay. We want to delete the message and then send it back again. So that packet should arrive here and go all the way back to its place. So it goes here, then goes here, then goes to the other side of the network. So two different networks, but the packet was able to go there and goes back. Here we go. So that is the way from PC22 it goes to switch 4, which is this one, and then to the router, then to the switch, then to the PC, and then it goes here and then goes all the way back to this place. Perfect. So that is how we use a router to make two different networks communicate with each other. Cool.